Yes! Today is going to be a good day. Very exciting. Psych! So yes, we have upgraded our header to the 9770 STS, and I'm absolutely frickin' pumped to be running this thing this year. It's a massive upgrade from the old CTS, the 1997 CTS. Just figured with the way the crops were looking this year, we're looking at a big harvest, so great opportunity to slip into a bigger machine. The old CTS was needing a fair bit of money spent on it, so we thought we might as well take that money and roll it forward and roll it into a newer machine, something that's a little bit higher capacity. So with all that being said, got a few jobs to do to this before we get it ready to get out in the paddock and start harvesting. I spent the weekend wiring up the top con auto steer to it. That's all done. That's ready to go. I'm happy with that. I didn't want to bore you guys with the details. It's just tedious work running wires, mounting things and whatever. So I've got that out of the way. The job today, need to connect the draper front up, get that onto the machine, and we need to replace the draper belts. We knew when we looked at it, one of the draper belts had a tear in it, so we thought while we've got time, we better get into it and get those draper belts replaced, because the last thing we want to be doing is doing them out in the field when we're halfway through harvest. So I'll drag you all along for the ride, and we'll get these things off and assess the rollers and have a bit of a look around and see how things are looking. Looks like it's on okay. Whew. So in the interest of full disclosure, and this may irritate people who are not from Australia, but in my part of the world we actually call this here a header. I know this is a combine harvester and it's called a combine everywhere else, but This is Australia, we like to do things a little bit differently here, I guess, but when I refer to a header, I'm referring to this, and when I refer to a comb or a front, a draper front, that's what I'm talking about. This guy here. So, sorry to confuse you all, but yeah, like I said, we just like to do things a little bit different here. It turns out that we've got some bees that are trying to take up residence in our air seeder, so that's about as close as I want to get to them, but yeah, that's not ideal. We're going to have to try and get them out of there because I don't really want to get stung by bees while I'm down here trying to work. But anyway, that's living on the farm, isn't it? So. Okay, so at the moment we have a company over the road delivering us 2 new 80-tonne silos. We have been needing to increase our on-farm storage for a while. It just gives us the opportunity to sell the grain at a time that suits us more, or when the market suits us. So we've ordered these silos earlier in the year. They're here now. They've put one up this morning, which unfortunately I missed, but they are actually over there putting up another one right now, and I thought I'd go over and see if I can get some footage of them putting it up, and we'll go have a quick look. They're done. They're done. I just thought I would leave the guys to it to get those bins secured, get them up, stop putting them under so much pressure. But as I said, yes, they hold about 80 tonne of wheat, these bins. We've added those this year. It just allows us to store grain and decide to sell it when we want to sell it, rather than delivering it to the silo and having to take more of a market rate. It just puts a bit more control back in our hands. So we've added those. We have also added a couple of 35 tonne field bins. They're portable. We can drop those out in the paddock while we're harvesting and harvest straight into them. Just gives us a little bit more capacity if we're waiting for trucks and that sort of thing. So yeah, as you can see behind me, we generally haven't been able to store much grain. We really only have been keeping our seed and maybe some barley and stuff to feed to the sheep during the summer if we run short on feed. We also have this shed over here, not the small one, but the bigger one there. We generally clear that out. We've cemented the floor, and we also store grain in there during harvest, so probably hold a couple of 100 tonne of wheat in there, maybe 150, 160 tonne of barley, so it's good. We're chipping away at the on-farm storage. As I said, it really puts control back in our hands. Hopefully we can keep adding to this setup over the next few years. We tend to go this way in this part of the world. These bins are about $11,000 each, I think. Having the big inbuilt bins in, you know, they're very expensive. The quotes I got were a lot. They were a lot compared to these things. And the other thing it gives us the option to do is to store different grades of grain, store different varieties. We can really segment our storage a lot more. So that's sort of why we went this way. But yeah, there they are. They're up. I got a little bit of footage of them doing it, and now we just need to get out into the paddock and fill them up with grain. So. Okay, they're off. They are off, and that's good. Just having a bit of a look at these rollers here, making sure they spin freely. Pretty happy with all of them, except this one here. Hopefully you can see that. It spins okay. The main problem is down in these slides down here. We just want to make sure that slides nice and freely. It seems to be pretty tight at the moment. As I said, this thing has been sitting around for about 2 years before we bought it, so I'm just going to spend a bit of time trying to free that up. I'm sort of hoping that if I work those slides long enough and get a bit of rust out of there and whatever else, that it might actually start moving. But yeah, bit problematic. I don't really want to have to replace the rollers, but I guess, yeah, looks like a bit of a mission, put it that way. I don't really want to have to go and do that. So I'm just going to keep chipping away at that till the end of the day, but I might have to leave this video here because it's getting fairly late in the day now, and I'm ready to call it a day. So yeah, thanks for joining us, guys. Cheers. Well, I couldn't leave the video there. I had to finish off the job. I had to show you guys the whole job. Figured out what was going on with the slide down here. This guy here is a little bit bent, so we got a couple of new ones. And now that's sliding free as a bird. So we're ready to slip the new belts on. So I know my time lapse yesterday didn't work, so I'm going to try again. We'll get that set up, we'll get the belts back on. While I was waiting on my parts to come over today from the dealer, I've been very busy out here greasing the machine. I've had all the covers off of it. It's an absolute mess. We've gone from 36 degrees and sunny yesterday to about 18 degrees and raining today. I really want to get these belts on. I want to get the covers on so I can get this thing back in the shed tonight in case this weather continues. So before I keep waffling on, I think I'll set the camera back up and we'll have a bit of a go at putting these belts on. they're done. They are finally done. And with that, this video is also done because it is almost 5:30. I have got all these guards and a heap of grease nipples still to hit, so I need to go get that done so I can get this machine spun around back in the shed. So with that, I just want to say again, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you all next time.